Hi, welcome back to my channel, Open the Door. This is episode 80, Unlocking the Illusion, Why and How to See Beyond Fear. So I'm sure you've heard this before, that fear is an illusion, and you might be wondering, well, how could that be? Because I feel fear so strongly, and sometimes it directs our thoughts and our emotions. So let's break down this illusion, and we'll talk about fear, why I think it's an illusion. So, fear is the brain's survival mechanism to help us distinguish between real and perceived threats. It's not just an emotion, but it's also a filter that alters our worldview. Here's a couple examples, like roller coaster rides. I love a roller coaster ride, but some people are terrified of roller coasters. So that's based on their past experiences and where their fear lies. But another example would be airline travel. Some people are scared to death to travel by plane, and even things like scary movies. Some people really enjoy that kind of entertainment. I like the old-fashioned scary movies, not the gory stuff. But anyway, just examples of how fear is a filter for each of us in a different way. That it feels real because it triggers physical and emotional responses, but at its core, it's actually a mental projection of our own experiences and what's happening at the moment. This mental projection is caused by, conditioning, trauma, and society in general. But in today's modern world, our fear is triggered less by physical threats and now more so by things like rejection, failure, uncertainty, and this flight or fight fear response that we all carry within us is activated not by trying to escape from predators, but instead by things like difficult conversations and risk-taking and important decisions in life. So here's how fear can distort our reality. Number one, it magnifies the risk of a situation. So fear makes challenges seem bigger than they are, and it tricks us into underestimating our ability to handle challenges. Because as I said before, it's rooted in past experiences, or for some of us, it's an imagined future scenario that we're afraid of. But rarely are we in the present moment when we're experiencing fear. Most often, it's rooted in something past or present. Number two, the distortion that fear creates has to do with it creates illusions. So our brain reacts to the same stimuli, whether it's imagined or real. And this illusion of danger is exasperated by the fear, even when danger is not present. So this would be, an example of this would be social anxiety, people not wanting to step out and be in groups, believing that others are judging them. Okay, number three, another distortion of fear has to do with the trap of past and future, as I mentioned in number one, the past pain or worry about the future. The mind projects the worst case scenario and leads us toward a lack of trust in our own decisions. So it is a trap, and it can keep us stuck if we're not aware of it and identifying it and realizing that we can move through it and past it. Number four, another distortion that fear creates is a scarcity mindset, where we think either we don't have enough or we're not enough, and we're always wanting more love, more money. But the fear can convince us to stay small and settle for situations that we're in and cling to the familiar. So an example of this would be because of fear, staying in a toxic relationship, because the fear is that we won't find someone better. So moving on now. So those are the blockages that fear creates. Now let's talk about how to break this illusion. So I'm going to start with some prompts for you to use in your journal. And pause the video if you'd like to write these questions down. There's 4 of them. The first one is this. Is this fear based on truth or assumption? And where is the evidence that this fear is true? And then list facts that support or contradict whether the fear is a truth or an assumption. So that's all number 1. Number 2 prompt would be, is this fear coming from past pain or future worries? Right now, in this moment, am I in danger? Number 3, is this fear projecting? I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the dog outside the window. Number 3, is this fear protecting or limiting me? So is it warning me of danger, or is it keeping me in a comfort zone? And number 4, for your prompts in your journal, is fear showing me an area where I need to grow? I hope that you've been starting up on these journals that I talk about in every episode. It's a great tool. So here's some practical ways to face fear. Using mindfulness. Practice awareness of the present moment. Don't attach to fear. Recognize it. And then notice the safety and security of the present moment. Take action. Instead of waiting for fear to disappear, move through the fear and do whatever this action is. Do it scared. Do it anyway. I do that all the time. Another way to face fear is through reframing. So turn your fear into curiosity. For example, fear of failure can be turned into learning experiences. Another way to face your fear is through something called exposure therapy, where you take small steps to face the fear in increments. So if you have, let's say, a fear of rejection, and you might start small by, when you're out in public, smile or compliment strangers, or ultimately start a short, conversation with them. Another tool to face your fear is through the use of meditation and breath work. When the flight or fight is triggered by fear, you can calm your nervous system using the breath work that I've talked about in my many videos, and also through the use of meditation. And then the last tip I have for you to deal with this fear is to give it a form, or use this visualization. Imagine that fear has a shape, or that it's an object, or even a small character in your mind. What does it look like? What color is it? Once you have imagery in your mind of how you see your own fear, then picture it shrinking or dissolving or transforming into pure love and light. So those are tips and little tools for you to help you see past the illusion of fear and how to move past it and through it. Because fear loses power when we face it directly. And once we shift our perspective, we're moving from fear to empowerment. When we're questioning fear, it helps us see through the illusion. And then we're left with surrender and trust, which is the antidote to fear. I guess courage would be an antidote to fear as well, being brave and moving through and past that fear. But although fear is considered an illusion, it's still an emotion that creeps up often. And just know that it doesn't need to be the blockage that we sometimes allow it to be. So don't give fear the power. Stand in your power. Use your strength and courage and move through the fear toward your ultimate highest self. So this is our episode for today, seeing past the illusion of fear. I hope that you're doing well and taking good care of yourselves. I'll be back again soon. I wish you peace, love, and light. Have a great day. And that's it. Bye for now.